Oh mate, 28k thousand for this week, having 100% win rate with my strategy. Let me break you down everything and if it's even possible to have such a high win rate on a consistent basis. Let's go. What's good, friends? This is Darius here and I gotta share with you some crazy results from this week. I've managed to make 28,000 on just one single trading account in this week. Now you would say, how is it possible to make such a big amount of money, and also how is it possible to maintain 100% win rate the entire time? And I'm gonna show you now a little bit through my trades, because I've made every single trade successfully except one single one where I had to close it because of the news event that was coming up. But still, the day ended up in big profits, but I simply had to close it because I didn't want to hold it through the news, even though I was aware of what price is gonna do. And at the end, I entered after the news and I covered up everything back up with massive profits for the day. I'm also gonna show you today, guys, one of the trades that I took throughout the week. And also, guys, every single setup that I traded this week was forecasted with a video analysis to the inner circle. You hear that right, we changed something in our Discord mentorship, because you're not gonna only get a step-by-step course, access to the Discord community and having 2 Zoom calls per week. No, you will also receive every single day, before I'm looking to take a trade, a specific video on where I'm explaining you exactly what I'm looking to trade on gold. I'm gonna showcase you if I'm looking to buy, if I'm looking to sell, what are my POIs and so on. And you just gotta follow our strategy specifically on how I'm teaching it to you, how to take profit and so on, but I'm also gonna announce when I'm closing my trades. So I'm gonna really help you, and you can really see here the feedbacks from our customers from the inner circle, because they've been smashing it this week as well. And we have multiple traders who also had almost 100% win rate in this week. So let's get it started, guys, and let me explain you how important win rate may be. I gotta say that when I traded back in the days SMC, I was not really a fan of win rate. Why? Because I was a little bit brainwashed and I believed that all it was matter is risk and reward, which is still true. I'm still trying to maintain always around a 1 to 3 risk reward on all my trades, and that helps me a lot to get more profits. But what is even more important than that is actually your win rate. Why is win rate important? Not on paper, right? When it comes right now to the profitability, of course, having a high win rate and a high risk reward is the best. But it doesn't really matter, because more important is actually how you're gonna behave. Can you remain the entire time disciplined? Will the emotions take over you when you're in a losing streak? Because the problem that I see with most SMC and ICT traders is that they have a wrong expectation when it comes to risk reward and win rate. Let me just break it down for you. SMC traders believe they can catch a 1 to 10, a 1 to 20 and so on throughout the week. Because of that, they have zero fear when it comes to their trading, which means they take one loss, second loss, third loss, and they the entire time believe that the next trade is gonna be the winner. And that's exactly where the emotion is gonna trap them. They're gonna risk more in the next trade in the hope they're gonna make everything back plus additional profits because of their crazy risk reward. But let me tell you one thing, the higher risk reward, the lower your win rate is gonna be on a consistently basis. Even though you are the master of the charts and you understand every single movement, the probabilities are simply against you. It's simply maths and it's gonna actually go always against you. When it comes to ICT traders, they believe they have a high win rate and everything, that they're doing everything so fine, that they're risking from the start too much per trade, and therefore they're gonna lose their entire account in the fastest way possible. If you look on the Propfirm accounts, who shared some analytics about who are the most profitable traders, you will see that ICT traders are exactly those ones who are blowing their accounts the fastest way. Sometimes only a couple of days and everything is gone, because they have actually too much belief in their strategy, and therefore they're gonna actually risk their entire account on all trades because they're looking for the home run, which in trading simply does not exist. And that is gonna be their biggest problem at the end in trading ICT. Alright, let me guide you a little bit through how I'm doing it, how I'm managing high win rate and so on, because even for me, that is not always the case. I'm trying to expect and I'm trying to look the entire time to have my win rate as high as possible, but even for me, that's not always possible. And I gotta say that prior to me having such a good week, or good weeks, because right now this is my second week where I'm really smashing it, prior to it, I didn't have such a good time, if I'm honest. I had to be very wisely choosing the next trade in order for me to not lose it, because I simply haven't seen my perfect setup. The price is not always moving the same way. The price has sometimes more liquidity, less liquidity. If you're someone who's not really experienced, for you it's gonna be super hard to see that. Someone who's more experienced, I mean, I've been through the summer liquidity a few times. For me, it was easier to adapt to these changes, but still, I had to go through a time where I had to pick very wisely my trades. And because of that, I've learned a lot of new things to it. I've learned how to remain patient and how to actually look after my A+ setups. And that was the thing where I was rewarded this week. I waited, I didn't blow my accounts prior. Yes, I had a little bit bad time, I came into drawdown on a few accounts and so on, but then the week came and boom, everything shoot back up. Plus I learned something out of those bad time that I had, or a time which was a little bit stronger for me. But I also reminded myself how important it is actually to stay disciplined to the trading plan and to only pick A+ setups. That way, your win rate will automatically increase, and win rate is gonna save you ass. Because you're gonna be, from the emotional side, it's gonna be easier for you to manage everything. Because if you're losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades and so on in a row, the consequence is gonna be that you're not gonna have trust anymore in your strategy. You're gonna feel too attached to the losses, and you're gonna more than likely start to revenge trading and to FOMO buy and FOMO sell into your trades, and that is always the killer for every trader. So that's why I have very strict rules on when I can look for a setup, how my A+ setup looks, and I'm teaching everything in Inner Circle for everyone who is curious about how that works and how you can actually come up with 100% trading week. And no, that was right now not just something that happened once in a while. This thing happens to me very often because I'm skipping a trading day or 2 or even 3 if I don't see what I want to see. But the market, especially on gold, provides me so many options on how I can trade, and I got 2 sessions where I can trade in. That is always possible, right? But there are still setups who are more likely to work out, and some ones who are not always more likely to work out. That's why I'm not trading every single time at the same time. I have different timings for that, and that's what I'm gonna use as my advantage. Alright guys, now that you have understand the theory and so on, I wanna welcome you right now to this trading setup where I wanna explain you specifically on how I managed to take this beautiful long. And yeah, it doesn't have been only one long, it was 2 long trades that I did took here in this case. Let me walk you a little bit through the higher time frame first so you can better understand this trading idea. I'm talking here about the specific day when I took this trade. It was here on Wednesday. And as you can see, it was actually in the New York session, right? I've seen price at that day. I'm gonna use right now a little bit the backtesting tool. That way I'm also showcasing it to my Inner Circle members every single time on how you should learn this. What I've seen here is actually here a nice order block, right? We see here a very nice demand area which the market created in this case in the Asian session. That was from the start my POI. I had it in my eyes. I've seen price already tapping into it into my London session, but it was a little bit later and I didn't really see here the quality of it. I've seen here some liquidity which the price grabbed over there, and that was actually for me some additional confirmation. All right. I've seen this. I wasn't sure when the market is gonna 100% going up, but in terms of the M1, which I'm using to validate my entry confirmation, we didn't really have any validation. Now you would say, as an SMC trader, ICT trader, or whatever, you would say, yo Darius man, what are you talking about? We've had here already multiple entry possibilities. And yeah, that might be true for yourself, but not for us, because we have very strict entry criteria on when we're gonna look for something. For instance, many traders would look here and say, this is the buy setup. And what I've seen here was exactly that one thing. I would have been more bearish bias in this case. Even though we've been in the order block, that was not really something where I would clarify as a high quality BOS. This is something which will in almost all cases speak against you, so price dropped lower. But also for the sell side, that was not something that I tried to follow, because also for this, the quality was too low for my probability, and that's the reason why I was not looking to sell in here. I waited for the opportunity later on. So time goes by, we've seen here price being bearish right now, overall bullish, but right now bearish market structure. And what happened is price pushed up, and then I was ready to look for some setup. But that was not the time for me to trade. We have also specific timings when we want to actually go into the markets and so on. And what I've seen here was very beautifully how price dropped lower. I've then identified over here this POI on the lower time frame, and I was just waiting for price to break structure. And as soon as I've seen that one, which was exactly here, I entered with my first long positions. You will see now on my MetaTrader screenshot that I didn't took here my entire positions already, because I wasn't sure if this is really the POI or if the price will go lower. So I entered with reduced risk to test the market to see how it's behaving. And if price will then shoot up, I'm gonna scale in later because I know how to scale into it. All right. What price is doing is starting actually here to consolidate a little bit, like preparing a potential pullback. That's exactly what I've been looking for my second setup. But before that, I waited for the SMC traders to get triggered. I've seen them here getting the BOS, which for me is not on BOS, which is for me actually in confirmation entry. And I entered over here in a nice long, and I closed at the top over there. That was my setup. You can see it on the MetaTrader screenshot. That was very beautiful long. I don't know right now how many thousands in profits have been, but it was definitely a significant amount from the weekly results. And yeah, that's exactly how I traded this one thing. It was a very beautiful and nice textbook entry in how we are trading. Maybe if you are an SMC trader, you will be right now a little bit confused why the market is doing things like that, because you will probably say, yeah, but this is liquidity, price will go lower. Then you got the breakout traders who believe that this is the breakout and you should long, but then it goes down below. And exactly this is the mechanism that we use. We try to see both traders, buyers and sellers, getting trapped into the market so that we can actually understand when to go into the market. And now the beauty about everything is actually that even though right now I close here at the top, price is moving a little bit higher, but then look at this, what happens. It's selling completely down before then again goes up. And also according to our strategy, that would have been a beautiful entry to take. But for me, it's like this. I'm not trying to be the superhero of the charts. I'm trying to only pick up my high quality setup. And if I only got it for the day, I'm not gonna trade more. That way I can also maintain my win rate and be super positive in the next trading day. If I would have been trying to do something, and probably I would lose depending on whatever I would interpret in the situation, because sometimes it's easier to interpret something and sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. If I would lose here in this case, even though I had already such a good trading week, because that was Wednesday, then probably I would make some mistakes, and then the next day on Thursday would also affect my win rate. So you see, I have their strict rules and I have to behave. Based on my past experience as being a trader, I've learned how it's the best way to not overtrade. It's better to actually skip a session or a day before trying to actually force something, right? Most people just believe they have to trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades a day. I did the same in my past. It was the worst decision ever. Alright guys, with that being said, I hope that you liked this YouTube video. Let me know in the comment section if you could learn something out of it and what you want to see the next time. With that being said guys, have a nice one. The link is down below if you want to join the inner circle and learn specifically those concepts which are so powerful guys, which can provide you those high win rates.